Archives are all about knowledge, but when it comes to adopting current knowledge technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning, we've been a bit behind the curve. In this video, we're going to explore how these technologies can help us improve our core business processes and make our lives a little easier. I'm Adam Farquhar, and I'm the founder of Digital Lifecycle Management. We help archives, libraries, and cultural heritage organizations to understand and apply advanced technologies with a focus on AI and machine learning. This video is being done with the support of the European E-Archiving Initiative, which provides specifications, software, training, and knowledge to help people store information for longer. Now, this is the first video in a series. We'll start with the opportunities, and the next video will look at barriers to success. In the subsequent videos, we'll explore how specific technologies can help to meet our needs. And because these technologies are progressing quickly, we'll also look at a roadmap for implementing them over the next few years. Now, I'd like to underline an important point. Implementing AI techniques isn't about replacing archivists any more than it's about replacing the people who use archives. Instead, it's about enhancing our capabilities and making our collections more accessible and valuable than ever before. We need to understand these technologies well enough that we can have realistic ideas about where they can help and when. Now, I'm going to be focusing on our distinctive business processes. For now, I'm breaking them down into 5 core areas: appraisal and selection, arrangement and description, preservation, access, and outreach. Modern AI tools, such as large language models, including Google's Gemini or OpenAI's ChatGPT, can provide benefits for every one of these processes. The first 3 are oriented towards archivists. Depending on the organization, the last 2 might be oriented towards researchers or the general public. So let's consider some likely use cases for each of these business processes. Start with appraisal and selection. So one example, organizations like National Archives receive materials from government departments on a scheduled basis. The archivists need to ensure that they're getting what they should and not getting things that they shouldn't. Now, AI systems that have deep background knowledge can be extremely helpful here. It is exhausting for an archivist to stay up to date on major projects, shifting staff, reorganizations within ministries or departments. An AI system can read all those departmental and government websites, scan the memos, even check the outside press to do this. It can then cross-check to see that the relevant material is being included. Be great. Second example, digital documents and communications are often poorly organized and have many duplicates. It's much worse than paper. We've all seen this. So AI tools that can understand and summarize these documents can help us to reduce the duplication and support archival decision-making. Third example, some archival organizations have to consider possible donations or acquisitions. If material is digital or digitized, an AI system can provide initial descriptions, including things like identifying if documents are correspondence or personal notes or policy drafts. This can enable archivists and researchers to quickly understand what's in a collection. And for me, this is one of the really important contributions, right? By reducing the cost of description, AI can reduce the cost of acquisition, and that means that we can say yes much more often. I used to really hate turning down fascinating offers of donations, perhaps from an archive of an author, a researcher, or an artist, because we couldn't afford to make it accessible. Even worse was when we could have raised money to cover the cost of, say, digitization, but not enough to do the description as well. Okay, arrangement and description. This is an area that has huge potential, especially once the material is in digital form. For instance, it's been digitized or was born that way. Current AI is very capable of summarizing documents, identifying people, places, projects, building up a timeline, and many other tasks that are the basis of really useful descriptions. They can even do a decent job of identifying things like key people or important projects. There have been big improvements over the last few years in handling audio and video material as well, and that means that material that was previously completely inaccessible or super expensive to describe can now be a full part of the archive. Preservation. For now, I think that off-the-shelf AI components may have less to contribute to this area, but there's still many possibilities. Slightly in the future, you can fly a drone along your open storage areas and review video that is taken to identify damage, rot, signs of rodents or insects, or perhaps to check your inventory. Another example, people working with obsolete software systems could chat with an AI service that has detailed knowledge about the software that's been gleaned from manuals, user forums, or perhaps YouTube videos. Another example, seen in practice, once old photographs have been digitized, AI tools can remove signs of damage like scratches and tears. Access. AI tools are absolutely revolutionary. How researchers interrogate and interact with content. We're all doing it, right? Instead of just retrieving documents based on a keyword search, we chat with an AI system, we ask it questions about them, we ask it to summarize a document, explain the long email chain, figure out who the key people are who are involved, maybe ask it to tell us about an artist's broader career or about the broader social context for work. Open questions like these would have been impossible to answer just a few years ago, but many of them now are really straightforward with the current technology. And I'm talking about tools that you can implement in your own institutions. Other tasks like redacting documents or understanding the role of a record in the context of a collection remain pretty challenging. Outreach. Archival collections bring value to diverse, distributed communities. These AI tools can make it easier for people to interact with collections in ways that they find meaningful, in a language and a style that's meaningful for them. Sometimes this is literally language. Current models do a brilliant job of translating, but they're also good at paraphrasing in a way that makes it easier to understand, perhaps from historic into modern idioms, or I can ask a system to explain it like I'm 5. These methods introduce some risks, they introduce some possibility for error or misunderstanding, but they also mean that people will be able to work with material that would have been totally inaccessible before. Current LLMs also make it easier to understand records in their broader business, cultural, and historic context. These AI tools open up collections to peoples who are not comfortable asking questions directly to a person or coming into a traditional archive building. These systems are infinitely patient and are always ready to help you understand. Okay, I've spent some time talking about areas where I see exciting opportunities for AI in archives. So now I'd like to hear from you. This is the first video in this series. We've got some great ideas about topics coming up, but we'd like to hear what you're interested in. Do you want to know about approaches to benchmarking, AI-driven workflows? Would you rather hear about how to train a model so that it knows about your data? Are you curious about today's large language models and how good they are at finding references to people or projects? How much can you trust them? Do you want to learn about vendor products and their plans for integrating AI capabilities? Please let me know in the comments or contact me directly at Digital Lifecycle Management. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to hear more about our next one, hit subscribe. We're trying to make these videos as informative and accessible for the archival community as possible. So our knowledge-focused organizations, they're being transformed by this technology. The way we work within the archive is changing. The expectations that the researchers and the public have for our services is changing. We need to understand how these new knowledge technologies work, where they fall short of the hype, and what it takes to deploy them for real. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time when I'll look at some of the barriers to using AI technology successfully in our organizations. So until then.